This is SportsCenter with Elle Duncan and Ryan Smith.
Hi, Ryan Smith.
Hello, Elle Duncan.
How are you doing? Coming up, we're going to break down the surprising move in the NFL that could have a big impact for Big Ben and the Steelers.
That's right. Also, Ben Simmons' agent and the Sixers talking about the All-Stars' future. Woj joins us with the latest on that. But first, as if being up 2-0 on the Clippers wasn't enough, the Suns get a huge boost. Let's go straight to Thursdays.
We're joined now by ESPN NBA reporter Dave McMenamin with more. Listen, nobody is debating that they are going to be better with CP3 in the lineup, but he's basically been in quarantine for a week. So let's talk realistic expectations from the Suns, Dave.
Well, the realistic expectations is that he's going to come back, be a starter for this team.
They're playing for something so huge. Chris Paul with a chance to make his first ever NBA final. Love to see him back in the fold. Dave McMenamin with the latest. Had a game 3 between the Suns and Clippers in LA. Thanks, Dave. A little bit more bounce on my step these days, Malika. On the other side, let's talk about the Bucks, right? Because this was a devastating loss for them. What are they saying about turning things around for game 2?
Well, as Bobby,
absolutely, Malika. There was a couple of huge ones down the stretch. Clint Capella, of course, stands out. Let's bring in Michael Wilbon on this as well. I just want to talk to you about the Hawks because not only are they 3-0 in game 1s, those are all road games, Mike. So when you're watching the game last night, what resonated the most with you?
Well, I got to say, Elle, what resonated the most with me is that the Milwaukee Bucks dynamics.
How can you not enjoy a bunch of 22-year-olds going and one mixtape in the Eastern Conference Finals? Like, what? If you have no dog in the fight, that is your dog. There you go. All right, let's talk about Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals between the Clippers and the Suns. Of course, that's where you are. Suns get back their point guard and leader, Chris Paul. What would you say Paul's presence in the lineups means for a team that, let's be real, Mike, is undefeated with him not playing?
Yeah, it still means everything, and
Sure.
they know it. And they Chris Paul on the floor.
Let's very quickly, because Chris Paul's coming back, give Cameron Payne his flowers. He stepped in more than serviceably, 29 points, 9 dimes, and most importantly, Mike Wilbon, 0 turnovers. Only other players who do that in a conference or NBA Finals, LeBron, Magic, and Larry Bird. I see you, Cameron Payne.
2 dozen roses. Let's give him his flowers. 2 dozen roses at least.
All of them. We will see Michael
No
Wilbon
question.
coming on to the top of the hour. SportsCenter with Stephen A. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Elle. Appreciate it.
For more on this series and ahead of Game 3, and of course SportsCenter with Stephen A. at the top of the hour, we say hello to Stephen A. Smith, who's joining us from LA. Hello, Stephen A. Okay, so yes, the Clippers find themselves in familiar territory, down 0-2 in a series, but it felt more like a missed opportunity because Devin Booker was largely ineffective in Game 2. How do you expect Booker to rebound tonight?
Well, first things first, it wasn't a missed opportunity.
You mentioned it. He's averaging 28 points a game. He was maybe due for a down performance, and I think a lot of people would take down as 20 points and a win. Let's talk about of their franchise. This, again, is according to some sources. Okay, that's what we're hearing. This is the report. Stephen A., you're on the record saying that the Sixers should trade Simmons away. So when you hear about these talks, right, between the organization and Rich Paul, what do you think?
That means nothing to me. Elton Brand told him. You know, Daryl Morey told him. His agent, Rich Paul, told him. He hasn't listened to anybody. Still won't shoot the damn ball. That's why he finds himself in this situation right now. The Sixers won't trade him for garbage. He's too good of a talent to just let get away for nothing. But if they get the right deal, say an Andrew Wiggins and a couple of first-round picks from Golden State, say a C.J. McCollum from Portland or something like that, they get something like that, he's gone. They don't get something like that, they keep him and pray all the time that one day he'll get a jump shot. That's really what this comes down to.
That sounds like a great recipe for success. Just pray that it happens and see if it does. Stephen A.
Divine intervention.
Divine intervention.
In this series, and that's not really anything new for the Clippers and Tyronn Lue, their head coach.
They are the first team in NBA history to trail 2-0 3 times in a single postseason. But here's the good news. This is actually where Ty Lue kind of shines. In fact, he has 4-2 series record when he's trailing 2-0 in a series. That's good for a .667 win percentage. How impressive is that? Look at this number. It's sort of daunting. This is the record. This is every other NBA head coach, a combined 20 and 290. All right, prediction tonight, Clippers or Suns? Who you got?
Clippers. They got to get back in.
Right? I'm going to go Clips on this one.
Yeah.
I think they're going to spoil Chris Paul's return.
Yeah.
What we think doesn't matter, though. Stephen A. Smith has much more on Jason Kidd, SportsCenter with Stephen A. next.
On a blue, then we wanna